Welcome to a new episode of Cyber Profits. This is a podcast made for you and for you only to better prepare for the future and to know what are the current trends in technology. I am Edgar Regalado and I am here with my co-host Federico.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for this new opportunity to talk more about technology.
Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, a very trendy one, blockchain. And for that, we have contacted a very smart guy. He's a developer and a tech entrepreneur. He has worked in several startups, and he's currently doing a PhD in Innopolish, the Russian Silicon Valley. He's also a YouTube star with more than 34,000 followers. Make sure to follow him on YouTube as well. And he also has courses in Udemy where he is teaching about several subjects. Allow me to introduce you to Hamza Salem.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for this amazing introduction. So thank you, guys. Thank you for hosting me here, and let's hope that I will add some value for this episode.
Thank you very much, Hamza, for accepting our invitation. And as I mentioned during the introduction, you are a superstar, Hamza, and I'm very impressed by all your career, your experience. I have seen your LinkedIn as well and your website. But I would like to hear it from you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your experience?
Mhm. So my name is Hamza Salem. I'm from Jordan, a country in the Middle East. So I started after I graduate at 2014. I started as a developer in a company, a regular developer with a regular company working with the government. After that, um, I start with the online, let's say, career. So I was thinking that as a developer, you are not only a developer for a company, you're a developer for yourself. And this is what's amazing about our job. So we can create stuff. So I already created several apps in let's say a small period with this company. So I thought that, okay, maybe I should start creating my own stuff. And this is why I started my channel in YouTube to teach the people how to uh, in the beginning, it was only sharing my journey. So I started learning one of the cross-platform called Ionic, and I started the community called Ionic in Arabic, and I was just adding tutorials, that the stuff that I was learning literally. So I'm not an expert. So I was just learn and try to teach the people what I learned. From this, the journey become more excited, and I start, let's say, adding more projects, challenging myself, creating my own challenges, start selling some apps online. And after it, 2017, I quit my job and I left and I started my own stuff. I can call it company, but I was working with only two employees. So I hired two guys and start working on our own projects. And from that, I I was trying to collect a lot of experience in minimum short of time. So I have web application, mobile application, blockchain, back end, front end, ERP system. So my journey was thinking about how, as a developer, you can know a lot of stuff. Like it's there is no like a special thing that I have to focus on it, because I was hearing like you have to be specialist in only this to get more money. But it seemed that if you want to create a product, you have to learn everything. And this is my journey. I'm trying to learn everything. I'm trying to also teach. So in YouTube, I started with 100 subscriber. After like 4 years, I got 500, and in 1 year, I got 35,000. So
Oh,
it
wow.
seems,
Wow.
yeah, it seems that the recipe for YouTube is just, you need to believe that you can just make content, and one way, if your content is good, people will follow. It doesn't matter 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. And I was doing because it's fun for me.
Yes.
And I'm really happy that you already spoke about this important topic about blockchain. How did you get motivated? Because let's say when I hear the word blockchain, the first thing that comes to my mind is Bitcoin or Ethereum, but I know that it's way, way more than that. But
Yeah.
how did you get into that?
Yeah. So I remember that in 2000, maybe 2018 or 17, one of my friends told me that how much you have money in PayPal. I told him like $51. And he said, what do you think me and you to buy together one Bitcoin? And I said, no, man, I don't believe in this like cryptocurrency. You know that this like stuff for the deep web. I don't believe in this. I didn't read anything about technology in general. I was only cryptocurrency, hearing some stuff about Bitcoin.
Mhm.
So I regret that. First of all, I regret that I didn't. Well, I don't remember where is the $51 now. But in general, in 2018, I remember that we have a vacation, like uh, 3 days vacation, and I thought like, maybe I should read something about this thing, Bitcoin or Ethereum, because Ethereum was in the rise, and Bitcoin in
Yes.
2018, it was the rise of the Bitcoin and the blockchain in general. So I remember that I started read in the beginning of the vacation, and I finished in the end of the vacation after 3 days. So it was like a 3 days crash course. I read everything about Ethereum online,
Wow.
and I was like, oh my God, this thing is real. And yeah, I believe that this technology will solve something, but it will not solve everything. And I believe in that time, I believe that, okay, maybe I should create some content about it. And I created a crash course, not a crash course, let's say it, a video, like how to start with decentralized application using Ethereum and smart contract. And I started with this. I started with creating some stuff online, and from that, I start to be interested. I get a lot of question, and now I have to reply to these questions. So I have to educate myself more and more. So it became like this. And after a while, I said, okay, maybe I should create something um, to save my knowledge in this. And I created my first course in 2019 for entrepreneurs, blockchain for entrepreneurs. And
Nice.
yeah, it's in Arabic, it's not in English, because in English you have a lot of people already created this. So I try to
Mm.
create something for my people. So after that, it became for me that, okay, maybe I should also create something for developers. And after it, I created the second course for developers, how to develop decentralized application. So my involvement with this technology is mainly for the technology side, not the cryptocurrency. I still didn't buy any cryptocurrency. I will not buy. And
Mhm.
yeah, just the blockchain part is interesting.
It is very interesting, and especially because now you are creating content and even educating your people. I would like to know now, Hamza, if you are developing any projects in blockchain, let's say any decentralized application that you have or any personal project.
Mhm. So yes, technically now we have I have several projects with several companies. Um, so in blockchain, to create a decentralized application, you will deal with library called Web3, and Web3 is a bridge between blockchain application and web application. So most of my project is related to creating a smart contract, creating the connection between it, and creating a web application that will work with this decentralized application. Most of the decentralized application is something for startups, ICOs, people who already started with a company and they have an idea to create a decentralized application. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm creating this for them. And we have also some corporate specific projects also related to maybe like auditing some smart contract, doing some review for the code, propose some architecture for a system. It's for example, you cannot connect your front end directly to the blockchain. Like there is
Mhm.
several stuff that you need to build it in the architecture. So these stuff that,
Okay.
let's say that this is the skills that now I'm dealing with it as a, let's say, blockchain engineer.
And how do you, well, you already told us that in the startups is where you see that many people are getting involved in blockchain. But how do you perceive in general the, let's say, the acceptance of blockchain, but not only from the startup perspective, but in general from even from the corporate world? I know that some companies have some, let's say, cloud services that are offering you, let's say, blockchain services, but I'm not completely sure about it.
Yeah. So in general, the corporate let's talk about ICOs. For ICOs or for the
Mhm.
startups, most of the companies, uh, let's have the previous case. So we have IPO and we have ICO. In IPO,
Mhm.
it's an initial public offering. So today you are
Yes.
selling your stocks to a companies, to people that willing to invest with you. The ICO is reversing the case. So the ICO is that you're creating the let's say the stocks or the tokens before, like you're not even have a company, you're not you have an idea. So it's like a crowdfunding application. You're creating a
Mm.
token to people to buy. And to be honest, this is also a tricky way also to have scams, because we have a lot of ICOs are scams. So startups now trying to create something like that. It's an easy way to get fund. Blockchain, if you blockchain now is like a salt. You can throw it in anything and it will, okay, now it's a $1 billion company. That's it in the startup. And it's entrepreneurs love this. They love to put blockchain in a social network application. But this application don't need any blockchain component. Why are saying that we will do this in blockchain? This is a problem
Mm.
also for startups. For example, to be honest, I evaluate any startup that I will work with it, because I don't want to put my name in like a scam or a failing, even if I'm creating this product for money, because I'm also like a hired developer for
Yeah.
this. For corporates, IBM, they have several solutions, but um, the problem with the corporate and the decentralization is interesting, because they have a blockchain, they have a blockchain architecture, but it exists on a
Mhm.
server. And this is the problem. So the problem with the
Yes.
blockchain in general, we're saying that we are decentralized. You're decentralized, but in a centralized environment. So for corporates,
Uh-huh.
it seems that they're they having the part of the blockchain, the part of the verification, the data cannot be hacked, but it's still centralized. You got it? So
Mhm.
it
Yes.
seems that the corporate taking a part from the blockchain, but they're not taking everything. So this is also debate for the decentralization. Is it decentralized? Do you need decentralization, or do you need the verification part from the blockchain? So every company look to the part that they want to use, and they are trying to apply it and saying that this is the part that everyone will get benefit from blockchain.
Yes. So now that we have come into the topic of the kind of applications that can be developed using blockchain, for sure, everyone knows about the cryptocurrencies, and that is probably the most common kind of application. Then
Yeah.
you mentioned now, Hamza, that there's these ICOs, these crowdfunding platforms that are also based on cryptocurrencies. And what any other kind of applications can we see currently being developed in
Mhm.
blockchain?
So also I'm teaching this topic in the university for the fourth year students. Last lab we had this question that is blockchain applications will replace everything? My answer is no. It's not a
Hmm.
use case that can be applied for everything. It can be applied in specific
Okay.
places. I will give you my point of view. So blockchain
Yes.
is providing a ledger to save transactions, and this ledger cannot be hacked. Okay, agree on this. So what we can save in this ledger to have it as a legit system. Uh, Today, if you want to go to a coffee shop and you want to pay with Visa, the process will take I don't know, 3 seconds, 10 seconds. And after it, you will get the bill
Yes.
and you will leave. You will pay. The blockchain Ethereum,
Mhm.
it will take 10 minutes. Imagine that everyone will
Oh,
go to pay
wow.
in Ethereum or a Bitcoin. It will stay on the cash for 10 minutes just to make sure that the payment is done. So it seems that this is not the way that we will use cryptocurrencies or payment or blockchain. It's not an instant translation,
Mhm.
transition for the for the for the word for the transaction. So the
The
transaction
transaction.
is not instant in blockchain, or let's say in some platform for blockchain. So where we can use this, my example is for example, real estate. Real estate
Mhm.
application. In real estate, you can make a let's say a owner transfer between an owner and an owner for a property using a blockchain. It will take 10 minutes. Okay, no problem, because it's like a huge amount of money, and this is what kind of,
Yeah.
in government it will take days to transfer ownership. If you will make it 10 minutes,
Yes.
it's amazing. And you can talk also about the drive cars, vehicles. Like if you want to sell a car, you will go and you will go with the guy that who you will like you will buy the car and you will sign papers. Imagine that you will do it through a QR code and it will done by 10 minutes. Makes sense. So I believe that blockchain have some use cases, and this is what the use cases can be done, but also based on the government, based on which is the institution that will apply this.
And I'm wondering something because, as you said, it's quite slow. Do you think there
Mhm.
is any technology that can make it faster in the future? Right now, we're hearing that, for example, Microsoft is releasing their quantum servers, and there are others from Amazon. Do you think these technologies can help us to make the transactions faster, or it's just going to take ages to have a better processing system?
From the blockchain side, I don't believe that we can exceed the other system. The other system is
Mhm.
not working with a central with decentralized system. In decentralized system, you have to go through all the nodes to verify something. So there is a long process. There is a long process to go and verify this transaction. But from the other side, if we can think about as a like as a visa stand, like the visa guys, of course they can improve this based on what kind of transaction that they are doing. They can they can propose some system that can do that. Also in blockchain um, there is some, let's say, improvement for the blockchain. For example, we have the lightning network, the sharding. There is some concept that implies that, okay, we can make it faster, but it seems that will not go with visa. Like it will not have this challenge between centralized system and decentralized system. uh, Decentralized system have a use case, and I don't believe, for at least for now, it's for like instant cash or replacement for everything, replacement for all the payment stuff. No, maybe it's for huge payment. Yeah, maybe.
I think, Hamza, that now we have gone very deep into the topics and the applications of blockchain and decentralized applications.
Mhm.
However, it will be very important to actually clarify for our audience what do this concept means. So my
Mhm.
question sounds like this: how will you explain blockchain, the term blockchain, to a non-tech savvy person,
Mhm.
someone who has never coded, let's say?
Yeah. So to understand blockchain, you need to understand one concept from accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Today, when you open your mobile application for a bank and you will see your balance, this balance is not a number in the database. There is no number in the database called like you have $3,000. There is no number like this. This number is calculated
Okay.
by something called the ledger, and the ledger is like a database have some transactions. And this transaction is like, you have initial balance, it was 0, and you got your salary is 5,000. You lost, or you paid 1,000 here. You paid so all this, it will be measured by seconds, and it will give you the last number.
Mm-hmm.
Blockchain is something like this, but the ledger in the blockchain cannot be edited. There is no way to edit this, and algorithms is saving this kind of the consistency for this ledger. So blockchain is a huge ledger distributed in several
Mm-hmm.
nodes, and there is an algorithm protect this ledger. So this is the simplest thing that you think about blockchain, at least maybe from the standpoint of Bitcoin, because this is like the first blockchain application was like a working prototype
Yes.
was Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is like this. It's a chain of blocks, and each block have a part of this ledger, and this ledger have some information. And if you want to count balances for this, you just go and find all the transactions that have your name, and it will give you final number. You have this number as a balance.
And in
I hope
your
it's clear, guys.
yeah, and in your belief, do you think that the current situation, the pandemic, has expanded the usage of blockchain or the promotion that other people would like to use it? As you know, there are some people that use it not exactly in our best interest. But do you think there has been any significant change?
I believe that not the blockchain, but the e-money, like the payment electronic money, let's call it, because blockchain is the first paper is called electronic money, so it's like peer-to-peer electronic money. Because imagine that you have a paper, like a $1, and a person who have COVID who touch this. Do you want this
Mm.
dollar? You will burn it. Like,
Yeah.
and imagine this case. So I will now everyone will take a money and like, oh my God, maybe someone who touched it, but this is money. If we think about it, yeah, it should change. It should make everyone think about why we are not using electronic money, why we are still have these stuff from 3,000 years ago, like people use the same thing. Like, we should think about what's the next. And when you talk about electronic money, cryptocurrency is in the top
Mm-hmm.
of the list. So I believe, yeah, in COVID everything has changed, but physical interaction, not just physical interaction, physical stuff that you need to touch, it seems that
Yes.
now it's different.
And now that we're talking about the current situation in the world and the COVID, maybe you saw the news, Hamza. Like quite recently, there was a big investment made by Elon Musk in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Mhm.
Do you think that this is going to improve the usage of cryptocurrencies or of Bitcoin in the future, or it will somehow
Yeah.
empower the
Yeah,
usage and the
for
acceptance?
that, you know that he pulled out the investment. Now it's he invest like I don't know how many, but now he pulled it, and now it's only 100 million or something. But he pulled it like now it's only 10%. But the funny is now Elon Musk Twitter is the I don't know, like it's a mystic Mac now. It's if you want to know the future, go to Elon Musk and see, oh, he's talking about Dogecoin, let's buy Dogecoin. Now Elon Musk is playing with everyone, and
Yes.
he's a smart guy. He's also like he look like he's trying to make himself as a person that he don't care, but he care, and he's doing some stuff that he want to make sure that you can control the market with a one tweet
Oh,
from this
yes.
man. I believe that, yeah, Bitcoin will not disappear. I remember that when it reached 20,000 in the end of 2018, 2019 in the beginning, and now back to 3,000. Now it's 50 something. And if you think about it, in 1 month, it was 40, 30, 50. In
Yes,
1 month, imagine that you're buying something and this thing is going. It's a huge risk investment.
definitely.
And I don't, to be honest, if you have money and you want to throw it in whatever, Yeah, go and buy a cryptocurrency. But I don't believe that these stuff will stay. You don't know. Today is 50,000. Maybe tomorrow it will be 200,000. So the people
Mhm.
who now buying and will sell their coin at 200,000, these guys are winner. But also maybe after 1 month it will become 1,000, and now the same guys are losers. It's a high risk investment, so I don't. At least for me, I don't. I will not do it. I will invest in the technology itself by learning and educating people only.
Yeah, I believe it's a quite tricky topic, and maybe the main reason why the banks are even trying to avoid this kind of money, or let's call it e-money. Or
Yeah.
do you think that they have a different reason why the banks are going away? Because I believe with what you're saying.
Yeah. For banks, you know that banks they have their own coin called Ripple, and Ripple is the third. Like it was the third actually. Now I don't know, maybe seventh or ninth. It's a protocol that they created, and they said, okay, if you are using this technology to create money, we will create our own money, and now we will do transaction between each other using your technology, using Ripple. And you can go to CoinMarketCap and see Ripple how it's doing. And uh, th- I don't know. I feel like these guys are like the Google guys that they said, okay, Facebook have like social network. Let's create Google Plus and let's force our employee to create Google Plus.
Yeah.
But this is not the way. Like Ripple now they're trying to create something that people create this thing to destroy banks, and you're creating another
Yes.
thing from this and trying to promote it. You will not promote it. You create any system and the people will deal with bank, they will deal with it. It's a blockchain or no blockchain. So I believe banks understand what's happening now, and they're trying to jump on it, or at least reduce the momentum from cryptocurrency. I believe that cryptocurrency
Yes.
will remain, but it will still like the thing that you still work with it and still doing all the stuff. It will be like the other currencies. It will stay and people will still believe in it. And but there is still other currencies and there is a cryptocurrency. I believe this will stick for us. There is no replacement. So banks will stay,
Mhm.
everyone will stay, but this is money and this is money.
Yeah, exactly. And now, Hamza, we have spoken about the application, the current situations, and a little bit about the introduction to the concepts. I will
Mhm.
now focalize on the concepts, and I would like you to explain to our audience what is a distributed app and what is the difference with a normal app.
Mhm. So the beginning of the internet was a distributed, decentralized system. So in the beginning of the
Mhm.
internet, people have a website, and this website you will put it on your PC, and you will put your address, and people will enter to this address and see the website. It's literally like a Word file. You put it on your computer, and people visit this. And when you turn off your computer, this thing will disappear. And after it, a guy
Yes.
figured it out and he said, like, okay, why should I put this? And when my computer go down and I will try to, let's make it 24 hours. And he collected a lot of websites and put it in a computer, and this computer will work for 24 hours. And this is how servers born as a one like unit that collects all these websites. And this is the internet model now. It's a server, and
Yes.
users will enter to this server. Distributed system, we have this concept peer-to-peer, and the let's call it the leader or the pioneer with this is torrent. I think everyone know torrent. So torrent is a
Yes.
protocol, and this protocol is allowing me to download from your computer through this protocol, and there's no server. I'm downloading from your computer and another three or four other
Wow.
computers. This is the peer-to-peer internet. And decentralized system is something that you will not rely on one server. server down, the system will stay working. So yeah, maybe this is like the best example for that.
Thank you very much.
We cannot hear you, Federico.
Yes, sorry. I sometimes I have issues when I do click in the mute. And maybe you could tell us, well, a little bit more about when the people are trying to hack the blockchains, because this is something that I know that you have something about the 51%, but I have never been clear if the 51% means the the power or the computers that you have distributed in the network.
So when you participate in any blockchain, Bitcoin or Ethereum, you're a node. And when you're a node, you have all the blockchain on your device. So today, if you can access the database inside your device, you mean that you access the blockchain, right? The problem with this, you have one node, and imagine that you have 1 million node. So how to convince the other people that this transaction that you created and this is wrong transaction, how to convince the others this is a good transaction? You have to have the power to make all these people do this transaction for you. And this is how 51% attack is let's say working. So you have the power to edit or saying that this transaction is correct. It's not about how much you computing you have one node, like you have this node, whatever is the computing power, it's about the permission that you can create this transaction. So in your node you can create a false transaction, but the blockchain will the algorithm will come and see that, okay, most of these guys saying that this transaction is not correct, so it will delete. So this is the part of the 51%. What you will do, and actually I would recommend that the people to watch a show called Silicon Valley, and they have it in the 5th season. They have this part like the 51 attack, and it's called they're talking about how the 51 attack will change not the transaction only, they change the rules of the blockchain, so you can also disconnect other people. So the 51 attack, it seems that it will never happen, at least for the Bitcoin, because now you have a huge number of nodes, and if you want to compete with this, you have to have like huge amount of resources, and it seems that it will never happen. In Ethereum, I will not say it's happened, but there is a case that there is some mistakes happen, and the owner of Ethereum's, yeah, and now we have two Ethereum. We have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic because of that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's happened actually, there is a website. They have like someone pirated the information there and stole maybe 200,000 Ethereum, something like huge number. And after it, the founder of Ethereum and the committee, because Ethereum is more organized, like not like Bitcoin. So they said that now we have two choices. The first choice is, we know that this is our fault and we can ignore this and continue with the blockchain. And we said, okay, whatever happened to this, or someone stole it, or it's a fault of the system, we will ignore it and we will continue. Or we can delete this transaction and create another blockchain based on that blockchain, and which will be a new fork. And here the community split. The community for Ethereum is split for Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, these people have the same, let's say, transaction, even the transaction have some error. And these guys created another coin and another blockchain. And they said, okay, this is our blockchain. This is our new rules. And we will stick with the people cannot edit blockchain. And the Vitalik and the founder of Ethereum and the others said, no, this is our fault, and we will fix this transaction, and we will retrieve this money for the other people through the new blockchain. And they deleted the transaction. So yeah, it seems it can be happen, but also
Yeah.
it's a debate between, is it legit? Now some people control the blockchain. So yeah, it's a debate, huge debate.
Yeah, it sounds very complicated with all of the risks that are involved. And now that we mentioned, we talk about the Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic, and I would like to introduce a very common topic that is commonly heard even among the non-tech savvy community, and that is the concept of mining.
Mhm.
Can you explain us, Hamza, what is mining
Yeah.
and why is it so important?
Yeah. Mining is a concept of like processing. Blockchain is a system, so it will work on a different nodes. So there is no system that will work for free, where like you literally using processing power. So how you will generate this? So in blockchain, at least the Bitcoin, uh, they created the concept of mining, that you're giving your processing power from your device to the chain. You're giving your power to the chain, and this is what they call it, the mining. But why should I
Mhm.
mine? Why should I give my mining or my processing power? Here it will
Yes.
come with a fees. You will take some money from the blockchain. I will give you an example. Today I will send you amount of money. Let's say that $3. If I will, okay, let's make it more. Let's say 100. Throw PayPal,
Okay.
and you will receive 92. You will receive 92. I send you 100. So PayPal take 8%. And they're saying that, okay, this is our fees because you're using our system.
Aha.
And makes sense.
Yes.
In
Makes sense.
blockchain, it's not 8%, it's 1%. And
Hmm.
it will be like a competitive part for a payment gateway. So if I will send you an Ethereum with $100, I will pay less. So now I have to use blockchain because it's less. And what is like the 100, like for the 8% from PayPal, it's like a fees for the systems, fees for the employees, fees for everything. In the blockchain, there is no fees, employees, there is no nothing. This 1% will go
Yes.
for the people who will mine that transaction. When I mean mine, these people will
Ah.
try to put their power to make sure that this transaction will go through all the nodes and verify that this transaction is correct. And this is what the algorithms do. The algorithms in general, for example, the consensus algorithms that working inside the blockchain, these algorithms, the job for them is making sure the consistency for all nodes, they have this transaction and this transaction is mined and this transaction is correct. And this 1%, someone will take it, not everyone also. Sometimes you can
Mhm.
go through all the mining and you will not get money sometimes. Happen in Bitcoin at least.
And do you believe that it's taking a lot of time in general to mine the transactions or the coins as they called it, or is something that it depends on the transaction?
Yeah, actually, this is a funny because mining is a guessing. So I will try to describe what's happening in blockchain. Maybe it will be not clear, but I will try as much as I can.
Okay.
So in blockchain, we have something called hash. And this hash,
The
so
hash.
you have a text, a transaction, it will generate like a hash number. And this number, the miners should have like another number and try to guess what is your number. And this process will take time. Sometimes it will take 10 minutes, sometimes it will take 1 minute. And the first one who will do it, it's a guessing. It's just guessing. It's not even, some people
Mhm.
think solving some, no, no, it's not solving. It's guessing. It's a hash table. So it's just guessing. Is this is the correct number? No. Do another thing. Do another thing. So it depends on guessing. Sometimes you will guess it in 1 minute, sometimes you guess it in 10 minutes. And the first one who will guess
Oh,
this
wow.
will take this transaction, will put it, send it to everyone. That's it.
It sounds like a brute force attack or something like that,
Yeah,
where you are just guessing.
yeah,
It is
something
very
like that.
similar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, so you mentioned before about the 51% attack, and also that there was an error in Ethereum. And this, I think, is the biggest concern in the bank, and this may be the reason why cryptocurrencies are not so accepted from the general public. So there are like several concerns about the security.
Mm-hmm.
And my question now will be, is it possible to hack a blockchain
Mm-hmm.
to that someone will insert intentionally an erroneous transaction or will try to edit a transaction?
Mm-hmm. So if you have number of nodes, like to take the 51%, yes, it's possible. If you have more than 50% from the nodes, like control, like you have a software that can control all these nodes, you can. And this is
Yes.
the a lot of people fear about Bitcoin. Sometimes they're saying that, okay, if there is a country like China, they have unlimited resources or something, they can create a mining firm and they can create a software that can control 51% of the blockchain.
Percent.
So it seems that I will not say it's impossible, but yeah, it can be.
Yeah, and I believe that this is like a very controversial thing that is moving us. That some people are like they have the constant fear, but I believe that it's not exactly so easy because as you said, yeah, you need to have China or something like that to be able to do it. I don't think a regular person will have
Yes,
those capabilities.
yes.
And do you think that this technology can be used in other ways, like for example in the elections? Because I believe
Mhm.
this is a great area, let's say a great area where I haven't seen anything related to blockchain, and maybe I'm thinking that it could be a good option.
Yeah, one of the examples in smart contract for Ethereum is voting, and voting is amazing because
Mhm.
this is like a best use case for using smart contract and using blockchain. Like you're using a system that cannot be cannot be controlled, and you know that it's no one can hack this. And yeah, this is amazing for elections.
Yeah, it's another use case probably, and we'll probably see it in the future.
Yeah.
And now, Hamza, I would like to introduce another concept from blockchain, and that is the
Mhm.
concept of nonce.
Mhm.
Can you tell
Yeah.
us what is a nonce
Mhm.
and why is it so important for
Yeah.
blockchain?
So yeah, the nonce is related to the mining hashing. So the nonce is the thing that you try to guess. Like the nonce is the thing that you're trying to guess to make sure that you will mine this transaction. So it's like um, it's a string, like we can call it like characters, mix of characters, like string, and you combine this with the transaction to try to guess what is the hash for this transaction. And after you will guess this, you will mine this and you will take the reward, the fees.
And now maybe let's try to move to the part of the technical part because I know that maybe you, as you said, you're already a coder in this area. What are some programming languages that are common on it? Because for me, I have no idea. I'm a coder also, but for me, C Sharp, JavaScript, even Java, but I have no idea
Yes.
with what you are coding.
Mhm. So for blockchain application, we have two parts. We have the part of Solidity, and at least I'm talking about Ethereum. Solidity is the language that you can create smart contract, and smart contract is it's the back end, let's call it. It's the back end for system for blockchain, smart contract, and it's the programming language is Solidity, and it's familiar. It's similar like C++. So anyone knows C++ who can go to Solidity with 2 weeks, he can master it. But also he have to have the concepts of inside blockchain. What you understand what's mapping, accounting, like at least understand the basics of blockchain. For other languages, we have library called Web3. This exists in Python,
Mhm.
exists in JavaScript, so you can just start work with it. And Web3 is a connection between Solidity and the front end.
I see, I see. And now that you mentioned the smart contracts and you mentioned that these are used basically for the backend for blockchain,
Mhm.
in your personal experience, Hamza, what is the most difficult part of creating these smart contracts?
Yeah, I guess smart contract in general is not easy to deal with it. Uh,
In general.
the problem with the smart contract is you cannot edit smart contract when you released it to blockchain, and this is a problem for
Mhm.
software. So you have to create a perfect code from the first time. And this is not
Wow.
like any software engineer, you will say like, what, perfect code? There's no
Yeah.
something called perfect code. You know that you will improve. This is the problem of smart contract. So smart contract, you have to create like an abstract view that don't have some details, and your details should be outside of it. So yeah, I feel like the hardest part is smart contract. Everything is easy. The hardest part is creating the smart contract. And especially for the smart contract, I can say that the part that you will save the information, because the smart contract can be um, like developing a bad smart contract. It will hurt you in the long term. The transactions, you will pay for the money for the transactions, the fees, based on how size the transaction. So you have to make sure that what do you want to save in the blockchain. You save long text, you will pay more. And this is stuff that
Yes.
you will take it as a also some companies have like jobs for expert in this field, like we have the smart contract, make it better, make us pay less money. And this is the hardest part, is optimization. Make this
Mhm.
smart contract is something for production environment.
And do you think that there will be any way to automate this process? Because let's say in my case, I'm mainly involved in the automation area, and
Mhm.
everything in my case is automating, like building chatbots, building RPAs. This is what the kind of projects that I'm managing. But do you
Yeah.
think that there is any way to automate this? Because I am quite surprised that there is nothing like trying to do it, and we are still trying to code it.
Mhm. Yeah, for this is the question also about the CMS, like the drag drop CMS that you find it in the web. A lot of people have debates. If we have this, why we are need people to develop website? The same question can be asked if we have some people who already automate smart contract. I think this is not, there is always some way to add the human element inside this. There is always some way that you can improve. I believe that in a smart contract, especially because it's also like a huge field, you need to think about it as it's something can be improved. I believe that there is some people already created like a way that you can drag and drop some stuff and it will work, but I don't believe that this is the best way. You need always some engineer that who will see the stuff, and people will work with this. They will realize that this is the hardest part. This is what make senior engineer and super expert senior engineer. Like this is the part of it, I guess.
Yes. And do you know if any of the cloud service providers are actually offering anything related to blockchain
Yeah.
nowadays, like this kind of automations that were mentioned?
Automation part, no, but in general, IBM is the most like
IBM.
corporate that they have a blockchain application. They have something called Hyperledger. Not they have it, but they are the best contributor for this let's say institution, and they're creating several projects for corporates based on blockchain. For example, Hyperledger, Roha, like it's a private blockchain for corporates. You can save. There is no nodes, but this is like you can deploy it on your own network, and it's a blockchain application. They have everything related to blockchain, and this is also another part of private blockchain or corporate blockchain. So yeah, there is a lot of company that they are developing and they're putting their own resources in this.
And now that you mentioned that there are different kind of blockchains, like public blockchain, private blockchain, can you tell us a little bit the difference among them, or there is? Because let's say I know that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are mainly public blockchains, but
Yeah.
it's very different, I will say.
Yeah. So private blockchain is something that you will deploy it on your own network. So you will deploy this on your own infrastructure. Public blockchain is accessible by anyone. Private blockchain is accessible by permission. So you need to have permission to enter this private blockchain. You can say that public blockchain is have an coin, have some transaction fees, have these stuff that's based on the community. Private blockchain, we don't have that. There's no coin, there's no tokens. That you just have system operated on the blockchain, and it's hosted in a place. So like you can think about it as this is a software for everyone, and this is software for a specific number of people. This is a software. It's a free. Anyone can access it. This is a software accessed by like several people. This is a software that you need to pay to money to use it and take from it, and this you need a permission to enter and do the stuff inside.
And now let's talk about a practical case, Hamza. Let's put that the scenario that let's say that I have a startup and I have a project which requires the use of my own blockchain. What will be the right procedure to go on with it? How can I ensure that my project that uses blockchain will be developed?
So if it's, first of all, you need to decide if it's a public blockchain or private, and after public, you will go with Ethereum because this is one of the at least top environment that's still working now, and you need to know that any transaction on the blockchain, saving transaction on blockchain, that you will pay for it. So you need to make sure that this is the use case that you need to. In general, you need to think about this is for a public blockchain. You need to think about that.
Yes.
You need an infrastructure to deal with this. For example, you need to install a wallet extension. You need to install wallet extension to your browser, like MetaMask, for example. From MetaMask, you can access blockchain. You can access and save money because you need to pay from something. Where do you need to pay? You need to pay from MetaMask because you have a wallet. So you have to think about it. Why I need blockchain? Why I need to save this stuff in blockchain? And you know that you will pay like 30 cents for each transaction. So you need to make sure that is my user will pay some of these fees, or I should pay. Private blockchain, no, there is no fees, there is nothing. You just go with, for example, Hyperledger or Roha or one of the other projects, and you can take this, install the environment, deploy it on your network, and give the people an access and tell them that if you want to create an access, I will create these users, and this user is yours, this user is yours, and it's a regular software.
And in your opinion, let's say, because you more or less spoke about the money or the transaction cost, I'm wondering, where do you think the cryptocurrencies get their cost, their value? Because let's say, when you validate any other currency, let's say the euro, you compare it with the dollar, or something else. But really, it's like, for me, it's like, but there is no gold behind. There is no fruits behind. There are no mangoes or anything behind. It's like, how do we value it?
Yeah. So this thing will back for 2009 or 2011. or 10, I'm not sure. When a guy won't have like 200 Bitcoin and he put it on a Reddit subreddit, he said that if someone order me two big pizza with each one is $10, I will give him 200 Bitcoin. And this is the initial value of a Bitcoin. Imagine this guy now is crying for his 200 Bitcoin. Now he just eats a pizza for $20. So imagine
Yeah.
this is the first value for Bitcoin. And from this, we have the other values. Why the cryptocurrency is based on Bitcoin? Because people who bought Bitcoin in the beginning, if you want to buy another cryptocurrency, you have to pay in Bitcoin. So it seems that all cryptocurrencies taking the value from the original cryptocurrency that is Bitcoin. Ethereum is smart, and Vitalik Buterin, the guy that founded Ethereum, is very smart. He didn't say that guys buy Ethereum. He created a product called Ethereum EVM, and you create your smart contract, but you need to pay in Ethereum. So he created a product that if you want to use it, you will pay with my money, and you need to pay it in
Oh.
Ethereum. So he created the platform, and people, if you want to use this platform, you need to pay in Ethereum. How can I buy Ethereum? Go and buy Ethereum using Bitcoin, using dollar, using anything. So the value of the Bitcoin coming from the value of the people who saying that this thing worth like this much. But also this is another problem. No one decide how much Bitcoin is, and this is also a problem. That this make this coin can be 1 million or 200,000 or something, maybe
Yeah.
1,000. What is the specific number for Bitcoin? So it's based on the people. The price for the cryptocurrencies is based on the people. Imagine that me and you want to do something like a transaction between me and you. I want to sell you something, and I will tell you, okay, I'm not receiving dollar. I'm receiving uh, like whatever coin. And you told me like I don't have this coin. I will tell you like go on to this website and buy this coin by your dollars and send me this coin. So it seems that this coin take the value from my perspective, and I made you like choose that coin and send it to me. So it seems that the people decide which currency had a value, and based
Mhm.
also on the success of the projects, based on maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, they already did it, and the others trying to emulate the part. Bitcoin is the first and the biggest,
Mhm.
and the others just try to
Mhm.
emulate this.
Yes. And besides the difference in the value, Hamza, what are the differences in terms of technology between Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Mhm. So um, Bitcoin is the first blockchain, and when we say first blockchain, is they introduce the concept of smart contract, but it's not
Mhm.
programmable smart contract. It's they said, okay, you send money, A send money to B, and B send money to C. That's it. In Bitcoin blockchain, you're sending money to each other. Okay. So in
Yes.
Ethereum, they introduced a new topic that they said, okay, let's create a programmable transaction. And this is, we call it smart contract. And inside the smart contract, I
Mhm.
allow you to put conditions. If you put, like, if someone did this, you will send him this, like this transaction. So it seems that you can create like a huge amount of transactions. For example, if you send me one ether and I approve, and another person approved, and then that's I will send you this. This is a smart contract, and if you start interacting with it, in the end there is a transaction will go. In Bitcoin, this is exist,
Mhm.
but it's not programmable. You cannot develop this in Bitcoin.
Okay.
But in Ethereum, in smart contract, you can do that. So you create a smart contract that say that, okay, if you send me this QR code, I will give you 1 Ether. And using this smart contract, I can deploy it on the network. And now you have you don't have a transaction, but you have a programmable transaction. If you do this, I will give you this. So this is like the main concept that you can difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum in let's say in the architecture way, and as a developer, how to deal with both of them.
And as you said, now the smart contract is starting Ethereum. And is this part of every other new blockchain technologies or every other concept? But I mean, from the programmability perspective, because you said that the most important is to create this part. But for example, let's say that you create the Hamza coin. You will have this will be something new, or it's something that it will stick that, like as you said, in Bitcoin.
Yeah. So actually, there is Hamza coin I created in one of my my courses.
Really?
So yeah, but
Nice.
it's just like an example for a token. But yeah, it's funny because maybe I will put it in ICO and see if people will buy this. But why should they buy? Why they should buy this? But in general, so all the coins that created based on Ethereum, it's related to Ethereum. So you cannot create something based on Bitcoin. Some people try actually to create, to fix some stuff inside Bitcoin and created another coin. For example, we have Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a fork from Bitcoin. And we have some NEO, I guess it's NEO, NEU, maybe, another fork from Bitcoin, but it's secured. Like you cannot see the transactions. So there's some people who took the original code and modify it. In Ethereum, we can create tokens, and these tokens are a coin. It's a literally coin that you can save it in a MetaMask, you can send it to people and everything. And it's based on Ethereum. So if you want to buy this coin, you can put some Ethereum and you will buy this coin. And this is how ICO work. ICO, you will create a coin. For example, you create 1 million or 18 million. And you will say that, okay, I have 18 million coin and I will sell, for example, 50% from these for the people with this amount of money. And you create a system to sell this, and after it you will take the money and you will create a product and you will sell the people. Now your coin is evaluating inside this product, so your own from this product, like 1%, 2%, and imagine this product is 1 billion company, like 1 billion evaluation company. So it seems that it's something like that for the tokens. So literally in Ethereum, you can create your own token. I don't know. I have one of videos that I'm demonstrating this. It's very easy. You just create, like, you will take a code, you replace the name with the name of the token, you replace the symbol of the token itself, and you create how much token that you want, and you just create, and that's it. This is now you have your own token. You can sell it and people can buy it.
We'll be looking forward for the ICO of Hamza Coin and waiting for it to invest in it.
Yeah.
Now, Hamza,
Mhm.
I would like to talk about a bit of your experience as a developer. And
Mhm.
I would like to start by asking you, what tools do you use to develop for blockchain? You mentioned about Solidity as a programming language, but do you need a server? And how do you emulate the several nodes that you need in a distributed app?
Yeah.
How do
So
you do that?
the thing about Solidity is very easy because you can actually install the environment and you can work in environment online. There is an IDE called Remix, remixethereum.org. This is a free IDE that you can literally develop and deploy, like not just develop, develop, compile, and deploy to the main network only on browser. So you don't need to install anything. Remix.ethereum.org.
Wow.
So yeah, this is why Solidity is amazing, because you don't need environment. You just need to know some C++ and you just start learning, and after it you can develop some smart contract. So it's easy to get involved as a developer, at least from the Solidity part.
And if, for example, Edgar or I or let's say anyone who is listening to us would like to start even today, what will be the first steps? Maybe you can suggest your trainings, but maybe let's say, what should we do today, for example?
Okay. So first of all, I prefer to have some background in any language. C++ is good, Python is good. Um,
Mhm.
you can start with Solidity documentation. Solidity documentation is very, very easy. There is a lot of examples. In smart contract, you're not creating, you're copy pasting and you modify and you understand what's
Hmm.
happening. Smart contract is like a structured template language. In Solidity, smart contract is templates. For example, today you would think
Hmm.
about creating a real estate smart contract. You can find maybe 3 or 4 people who already created the best smart contract, because most of the smart contract stuff are open source. Even for the big company, they're putting it as open source to people to believe them that they have this smart contract. So you can just start with Solidity documentation, remix.ethereum.org, and I believe that anyone have any knowledge in C++, at least as a basic, you can start with it today.
Perfect. Just to summarize, you mentioned that we need some understanding, some basics of C++ as a programming language, or maybe Python as well.
Mhm.
We can start by reading the Solidity documentation, and we can actually use a copy paste of the smart contracts. You can just modify them a bit. We have to understand overall how the structured template language works.
Yes.
And now, Hamza, this is the last part of our interview for today, and we would like to know about the future. How is this going to look like? And my
Mhm.
first question will be related to something we already talked about. Federico
Mhm.
mentioned a while ago that it seems possible that in the future we'll have elections in
Mhm.
Bitcoin. And I would like to ask an expert such as you are, Hamza, what do you think about it? Will it be safe to use blockchain to empower our elections? And is that even a real possibility in the next decade, let's say?
Mhm. So I believe yes. I believe yes, but also there is several systems that already created an election. I will not say better than blockchain, but it's legit. It's legit systems. So if you want to provide something
Mhm.
to cover election, you're not you're not even with a blockchain, you have to provide more than the security part. You have to provide maybe more than the that you need to performance wise. For example, if you want to do a transaction in blockchain, you have to pay money. So
Yes.
who will pay this money? The admin or the people who
Mhm.
want to vote, or like what kind of transactions? And also we're talking about million transactions, like in elections. So I guess the people in the government should do some uh, like some literature review, at least for the people who try to create this kind of systems, because these systems have a lot of um, let's call it a lot of issues related to the system itself. I believe that
Mhm.
in several countries they are trying to implement this, but also there is some problems. But for me, I believe that yeah, you can develop something through blockchain and it can work. But you need to ask yourself that
Mhm.
is it a public blockchain or a private? And if it's public, you will go with the question that okay, so it's public, so anyone will do any transaction will pay money. Will pay money for who? For Ethereum. So Ethereum is like the company that will, at least they will get a lot of money because of that. And the miners that working for Ethereum, they will get money. So there is a money that it will be paid. It will be asked as a question. Another question can be asked, okay, let's do it a private. In a private, okay, how can I make sure that this system is not will not go down? because it's a centralized system. Okay, it's a private blockchain, but it's not. It's a no cloud server. There is a server in
Yes.
whatever like premises in any company that there is a server that or catch this system. So there are several questions that can be asked. But if I will take it in small elections that have like students union elections will be perfect to do this, but not like a presidential election or parliament or something. I guess we need to do more research about this before that.
And in your perspective, let's say in the next 10 years, how do you see the future of blockchain? Will you
Mhm.
stick to these technologies, or do you have another secret technology that you're working in Russia that we will move to a newer blockchain that we have no idea about the name?
Yeah. So for that, I guess in 2018 when I have the same question for I got asked the same question by some people, and I told them that in 2022 maybe there is something, and I was saying that I will not work with this technology. Even I know that these stuff from 2018, and I said that I will not produce any programming blockchain until I will believe that I can get a lot of money from this. And now I put the new course on online on Udemy because now I can say that I got some money from this thing. So I believe that blockchain have um, blockchain or decentralized application have a use case in the future. I don't believe that it's now. I don't believe that we are dealing with the best performance. We are dealing with a prototype, and this prototype will still going on some development. But uh, I guess in the future, I cannot say 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, four, but it seems that in the future we will have a lot of decentralized application will replace some centralized application, but not everything.
Yes, these are some very interesting prediction. And my last prediction that I would like to ask from you, Hamza, is how do you see the future of cryptocurrencies?
Mhm. So at least Bitcoin is a risky investment. I believe that cryptocurrencies, there's some of them will disappear and some of them will stay. But at least the biggest three, four, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe XRB, like the Ripple coin, maybe IOTA. There's some companies that already created the products. These guys will stay. At least they will stay, and we will see them. But I don't believe that if you go and buy and the price will go down, this is not a prediction for cryptocurrency because I hate prediction for these guys. But I'm saying in the product side, they have something. They have already something that's
Yes.
proven. They have working prototype. They have stuff that they're already running on this. So I believe that these guys will stay. But there is a lot of scams in coin market cap. So there is a lot of scams. I don't believe all cryptocurrency will stay. Some of them will disappear. Some of them are already scams. Some of them are already promises. They're promising that we
Yes.
will solve this and we will change the world. Everyone will want to change the world, but like give me something. And this is the problem of cryptocurrencies. It's just promises, and I don't believe promises. I believe products that you can see and evaluate.
That's a really smart approach, I have to say. And just to summarize the predictions that we have heard today, first, regarding elections, there's definitely a possibility that blockchain can be used for election. However, we might need to run some pilot tests before, probably in some student elections or something like very small, because there are still some issues that need to be solved regarding if it is whether a private or a public blockchain.
Yes.
Second, the decentralized applications will replace some centralized applications. And third, regarding cryptocurrency, some of the cryptocurrencies will disappear because theirs are just promises, probably even scams are out there in the market. And the ones that will persist in the future are those that have a real product. Thank
Yes.
you very much for these predictions, Hamza. Do you have any last words for our audience?
Okay, so in general, for the people that who want to get into this field, I don't prefer to go with the cryptocurrency stuff. So I believe that
Mhm.
anyone who want to even invest in cryptocurrency, he should read about the projects, and he should understand technologies. And when he read the white paper, he should understand at least 30% of it. So I agree with the educated investor, not like investor based
Mhm.
on the hype. Um, for cryptocurrencies, don't enter unless you understand what's blockchain. For the people who want to learn, there is a lot of free content, at least in English. I will talk about English. There is a
Yes.
lot of people who already educating people for free on YouTube, and they are doing this as a marketing tool. But no problem that this is a good content, so you should go and see it. So I believe that if you want to educate yourself about this technology, go YouTube is a great place to start. Don't go with the
Mhm.
cryptocurrencies hypes. Uh, don't even listen to at least um, at least maybe people like us saying that this is a good technology. Go and read and discover by yourself. And yeah, just read.
I agree with your recommendation to not to go the trends, educate ourselves, and make sure that we become educated investors and educated in general in the technology.
Yes,
Thanks for your participation, Hamza. We
you're
really
welcome.
appreciate your time and all of the knowledge and the information that you have shared with us. We were Cyber Prophets. And Federico, any last words?
Thank you very much, Hamza. And thank you for everything that you share with us. I believe that you are already doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good luck.
I agree with Federico. We are Cyber Prophets, prophesizing the future of IT. See you on the next episode. Bye.